Good morning, students. This is Anil Kumar Boja, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Government City College, Nayapur, Hyderabad. We are learning about infrared spectroscopy. Today, I'm going to deal about instrumentation of infrared spectrometer or infrared spectroscopy. Let us see what we have learned in previous session. Uh, Let us recap it. We have learned about the various regions of infrared spectroscopy or infrared radiation. There are three regions: near IR, mid infrared region, far infrared region. Near infrared region is highly energetic one for the molecule to undergo vibrations. Mid IR region is the region having energy of 11.5 to 2 kilocalories per mole, so which is very much useful to study the vibrational changes that are happening in the molecule. So that for in organic chemistry, for molecule structural analysis, this is the region exclusively used, whereas for IR region is not that much useful to the organic chemists in a case of infrared spectroscopy, but this radiation can be used in microwave spectroscopy. Yes, these are the topics that we have studied. We have studied in previous session, that is infrared spectroscopy 1. You can view that uh, presentation through my channel in YouTube. Now let us discuss about instrumentation. What is instrumentation? Instrumentation in the sense, we have to have a basic idea regarding to the instrument, how it will work, what are the important parts present in the instrument, what kind of light sources that are used for the production of infrared radiation for the molecule to absorb. And so these all setup that we are going to discuss in today's class. To obtain the IR spectrum, the sample must be placed in a container. Container in the sense, here the sample, whatever the pure sample that we have prepared through a chemical reaction, will be plated in between KBr or KCl, potassium chloride, sodium chloride, potassium bromide pellets. In between of the potassium bromide or sodium chloride salt compound pellets, or the compound has to be placed in the container or cells that is transparent in IR region of the spectrum. Whatever the cell we are using, whatever the equipment that we are using for the placing of a sample into IR instrument, infrared spectrometer, that equipment or that plate or the tube that should not absorb the radiation in infrared region, because if it absorbs the radiation in infrared region, so that we won't get the spectrum, exact spectrum of the compound, including the absorption values of that plate or the tube also. So that instrument, in the instrument also, so equipment or the parts of the equipment will be manufactured or prepared in such a way so that they should not absorb the radiation in infrared region. Sodium chloride or salt plates are common means of placing the sample in the light beam of the instrument. Yes, the sample is pelleted into with a potassium bromide or sodium chloride salt, so that uh, we will get the clear spectrum of the compound. Clear spectrum of the compound. At the same time, no more distractions will be taken. No more distractions will be happen in the in recording the spectrum of infrared spectrum of a molecule. So basic design is that normal IR instrument is very quite similar with the UV visible spectroscopy or UV visible spectrometer, but the detector and the light source that what we are using for the identification of spectra of a molecule will be different in the case of UV visible spectroscopy as well as infrared spectroscopy. The basic instrument structure is very same. If you see the instrument of a ultraviolet visible spectroscopy, then the instrument of infrared spectroscopy will be in a same way. Here you can see the instrument, infrared spectroscopy instrument. Here this is the probe where we load the sample, and in this inside part we can have the beams. That beams are responsible for the production of light source. So light sources are used, and some other filters and inside equipment will be somewhat different. A block diagram regarding to inside arrangement of the spectrometer we will discuss in coming slide. So this is the image where you can see the uh, instrument IR spectroscopy. It is also very similar with UV visible spectroscopy, right? In UV visible spectroscopy, the manufacturer, he will provide the probes in the form of mm, in such a way the probes will be constructed, or probes will be prepared in such a way to place the cuvettes inside of them. So the complete setup will be same, and the instrument will contain some uh, inlets where we will place the cuvettes to record the absorption wavelength values of the compound uh, in a solution state. We have to make them into a solution state. That after the solution will be taken in the cuvette, so that cuvette should not absorb the radiation in ultraviolet visible region. And whatever the compound, diluted compound present inside of the cuvette, it will interact, or it will absorb the radiation from ultraviolet visible region, and we will get the spectrum regarding to that chromophore present in the molecule. Here also we will place the pure sample here by mixing with potassium bromide or sodium chloride salt. So the radiation pass through the infrared radiation passes through the sample, and sample absorb the some part of region of that infrared radiation, and according to that it will undergoes to the vibrations and rotations. What kind of vibrations that are taking place, they are characteristics to the functional groups present in the molecule, right? Let us go for our slide. Right, this is the instrument, this is the slide where we are discussing about. So it's a instrument very similar with UV visible instrument. Main difference is that light source and detector. So there we will use the light sources regarding to the radiation of 200 to 800 nanometer. But here that light sources won't work, because the light sources, they only exclusively produce the radiation, the light which is pertaining to ultraviolet and visible region only. But here the light sources whatever we are using, they have to produce the light in the region of 12,500 centimeter universe to 667 centimeter universe, centimeter inverse of wave number. So that is from uh, to zero point 0.8 micrometers to 0.8 micrometer wavelength containing radiation to 15 micrometer wavelength containing radiation. Radiation has to be produced by the uh, source, so that whatever the spectroscopy, for example, if you are using the NMR spectroscopy to record the spectra, to record the molecule, or to record the spectra of a molecule, there we have to use the source of radio frequency radiation, are the sources which can able to produce the radiation in the region of radio frequency range. For example, if you are analyzing the molecule on microwave spectrometer, in the sense microwave region of radiation will be utilized for the by the molecule, so that the source, the light source will be prepared in such a way to produce the radiation in a microwave region of electromagnetic radiation. So whatever the spectroscopy we will take, light sources will be different, and the detectors, they will also be different, because NMR, if we see in the case of nuclear magnetic resonance spectrometer, detector must be with high sensitivity, because a small kind of energy changes that are taking place, that will takes place during the excitation, during the uh, coupling process of chemically non-equivalent protons. Here, for the vibrational changes, the energy required is little more. Similarly, for the rotational changes, for electron transition between ground bonding molecular orbital and anti-bonding molecular orbital, the energy required is more, so that detector will be little bit uh, uh, little bit in the sense, it's not required that with that much sensitivity. So as we move from ultraviolet visible spectroscopy to nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, the detector's sensitivity has to be increased, so that the detector can identify the changes happening in a molecule because of absorption of electromagnetic radiation, so that we will get the spectra, right? Now we can see the block diagram of a infrared spectrometer or infrared spectrometer inside. Here, the spectrometer contains the light source. Infrared light source are the light which will produce the infrared radiation, that is from 12,500 centimeter inverse to 667, or sometimes it might be 1000 centimeter inverse also. There are various sources of IR radiation. Sources, they produce IR radiation in the market. Depending upon our conveniency, we can purchase the instrument, right? So these are the mirrors. Whenever this light falls on the mirrors, that will reflect towards the reference cell in one beam. Here the splitter is there, mirror. Whenever it falls on the light source released from the released, it will hits the mirror. The mirror, we can see, it can able to split the beam into two streams. The mirror is prepared in such a way to split the beam into two streams, that after the reflected light, infrared radiation, again it will hit the another mirror at the top side and bottom side. So the setup made in such a way to in such a way to pass the radiation through reference cell as well as through sample cell also. Here, after the reflection, the radiation going through the reference cell, we have to take the reference compound here in reference cell, and another stream of radiation that is going passing through sample cell, where the sample present in a liquid state. Even sometimes also you can, the advantage of UV visible infrared spectroscopy is, in infrared spectroscopy we can record the spectrum of a compound if it is there in gaseous state also. Got it? We can record the spectrum of the pure compound in gaseous state, liquid state, even in solid state also. This is the conveniency with the infrared spectroscopy spectrometer. So if compound is there, for example, if you are recording a compound, recording a spectra of a compound in liquid state, so that the compound has to be dissolved in a suitable solvent, so that the solvent in very dilute state will be placed in a sample tube. What I'm saying is, it has to be, the compound has to be diluted. See, maximum in the sense, we will get the clear spectra regarding to molecule if it is there in very diluted states. And one more condition that we have to remember, the dilution or the amount of solute or the pure sample present in the solvent must be in the position to interact with the infrared radiation. If it is in very diluted condition in a through which if it is not able to interact with the electromagnetic radiation or infrared region of radiation, so that the molecule will not produce the spectra, but the molecules quantity, the concentration of solute has to be there in required amount to interact with uh, infrared region of radiation, so that we will get the clear spectra regarding to that molecules, clear bands regarding to the functional groups present in that molecule. One more thing that we have to follow is sample must be given in adequate pure conditions. Required amount of purity is in that condition we have to submit the sample to analyzer. So here the two beams, there one beam is hitting reference cell and passing through reference cell, and another beam is passing through the sample cell. Here you can see the two beams after the here. Let us concentrate first here. The sample, the radiation is passing through the sample, so that here the important uh, procedure it will takes place. The whatever the physical change that is happening in a molecule will happens here only. This is the important portion of the instrument where the sample molecules interacts with the infrared radiation, so that they will undergoes to the vibrational transitions, and vibrational transitions that are taking place in the molecule, they are characteristics to each and every functional group present in the molecule, even in the molecular parts also. We can guess that we can definitely say that the intensity of the radiation passed through the sample will be decreased, because some part of the radiation of infrared region must be absorbed by the, yeah, sample will definitely absorb the radiation, so that transmitted light, this is the transmitted light, this is the incident light. So the transmitted light intensity will be decreased, and that is passes through the a setup present in the instrument, inside of the instrument, and again it will obstructed with a mirror to divert the path of that transmitted light. Again, the transmitted light interacts with one more diversion with a mirror. From that, it will pass through a slit. This is the arrangement. It will filter the radiation in the sense uh, a monochromatic radiation. Of course, anyway it is a monochromatic radiation in the sense the radiation which is having the same color, but we won't discuss about the color property regarding to infrared region of radiation, because we won't observe the colors will be observed in presence of visible radiation only. So monochromatic radiation in the sense the radiation which contains the same wavelength, one wavelength values. Of course, of the whatever the radiation used throughout the recording of spectra of a sample will be monochromatic radiation, or the radiation contains with the same wavelength. But here, for uniform striking, for uniform interaction of light with diffraction grating, this slit will be used. This slit will be used. That is the function of slit. So it will allow the radiation to hit the diffraction grating uniformly, so that after hitting the diffraction grating, it's a kind of crystal placed in the instrument. Then the reflected light in enters into a detector, enters into the detector. So this is the final version. Moreover, final activity done by the light inside of the instrument. This detector will detect the uh, digitalize, actually it will digitalize the observed radiation by the molecule into a digital signal. That signals will passes through the amplifier, where if the adequate intensity, adequate energy is not there for that signals to appear clearly in the spectra. This amplifier will amplifies the intensity or amplifies the information, digitalized information, so that we will get the clear spectra regarding to clear bands regarding to the functional group present in the molecule, clear bands regarding to functional groups present in the molecule. I think it is very much clear about instrumentation, what kind of physical processes that are taking place in a, inside of infrared spectrometer that we have been discussed so far. So right, this is the source, the light passing through the sample cell and reference cell. Reference cell, definitely a reference compound has to be taken, whatever the spectra you are recording. Either it would be either it may be ultraviolet visible spectra or infrared spectra or NMR spectra, microwave spectra, whatever it might be. Definitely we have to take a reference cell, reference compound has to be taken. So sample, the radiation passing through the sample will interacts with mirrors and slit. After that it hits the grating, diffraction grating, so that the diffracted light enters into a detector plate or detector region through a slit, where the absorption frequency or absorbed light will be digitalized into the signals. That signals will be amplified with the help of amplifier, and we will see the spectrum of a compound. This is the block diagram which will give the information regarding to the light under in how many different processes that light is undergoing to. Right. Very good. Now let us discuss about the sources, light sources. What kind of light sources that they have to be used? See here, this is the instrument. Already reference cell, they are the reference cell means the equipment that has to be incorporated inside of the instrument, and even mirrors also, diffraction grating also. So these all equipment must not interact with the infrared region of radiation. And the main thing, which one is that main thing? Source has to be there, source has to be there. Unless there is no source, no more production of infrared radiation. Once the infrared radiation is not there, how the molecule they will interact with the electromagnetic infrared region of radiation, then how they will undergoes to the vibration. So that source of light is very important. That source has to interact with the molecules inside of the spectrometer, so that molecule undergoes to the vibrational changes. That vibrations has to be recorded. That vibrations that are happening in the molecule will be recorded in the detector in the form of bands. So source, what source that we are using in a spectrometer is very important one. Let us discuss about that sources. There are three types of sources as of course many sources are there, but in our syllabus we have these three sources: Nernst glower, globular filament, and incandescent light. Now let us have a look at source, how it has to be. It must produce the IR region of radiation. It has to exclusively produce the infrared region of radiation. If it is able to produce the other regions of radiation also, one more issue will be developed, that some other filters has to be taken in the instrument to filter the other region of radiation from the infrared region. So that better to take the light source which will exclusively produce the radiation in the region of infrared, right? And it cannot use glass since absorb the infrared radiation. Got it? So glass should not be used in preparation of equipments inside of the instrument, and even in a making of source also, glass involvement must not be there. If it is there, that glass will interact with the infrared region of radiation, so that um, we won't get uh, it's not a good infrared radiation source, so glass should not be used. Let us discuss about the first one, Nernst glower. Nernst glower, the first most light source used for the recording of infrared spectra of molecules in a starting of uh, IR infrared instrument is identified. So it is a cylindrical rod or tube composed of mixture of certain rare earth element oxides such as zirconium oxide, ZrO2, yttrium oxide, Y2O3, erbium oxide, Er2O3. See, these are rare earth elements, a block elements. These are zirconium, yeah, rare earth elements actually. Okay, so here zirconium oxide, yttrium, erbium oxide, these three oxides will be used in the ratio of 90 is to 7 is to 3 ratio. 90 is to 7 is to 3 ratio. 90% of zirconium oxide is used, 7% of yttrium oxide, and 3% of erbium oxides. In combined manner they are used. It's a cylindrical rod or a tube composed of a rod which is made out of zirconium oxide, yttrium oxide, erbium oxide. They have to be there in the ratio of 90 is to 7 is to 3 by weight. So these elements are the cylinder will be used electrically. By providing the electricity, the cylinder has to be by providing the electricity, the cylinder uh, undergoes to the heating process, and it will heat, it will produce the radiation, that radiation pertaining to the infrared region of infrared region. Now you can see here a circuit of uh, Nernst glower here. Here it is voltage controller, voltage. So from positive end of the uh, circuit to negative end of the circuit, zirconium, cerium, thorium. Here cerium, thorium, he was mentioned, yttrium and erbium oxides will also be used. Based on what kind of oxides you are using, the production of light will be in which region. Of course, various elements can also be used, but the radiation produced from that cylinders, radiation produced from that glower or from that instrument will be in the region of infrared only. But infrared also, they will produce certain region of radiation. For suppose 12,500 centimeter inverse to 6,060, sorry, 667 centimeter inverse wave number containing radiation is pertaining to infrared. So for suppose if you are using zirconium, cerium, thorium oxides, they might produce the infrared region of radiation exclusively from might be not exclusively, might be they will produce from uh, 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 3000 to or 4000 to 7000 centimeter inverse wavelength containing radiation. Yes, it is also the region regarding to region, it is also the sub region of infrared range. So depends what kind of material you are taking for the preparation of a filament, it depends, and according to that the radiation will be produced in the infrared region. At the same time, molecule strength also will influence the absorption of radiation. Molecule strength, the molecule strength is the molecule is means the bonds present between the atoms of molecule, are they strong enough or are they easily undergoes to the vibrations? So depending upon that property, the sources will be used in the instrument, right? Here you can see the image of nernst glower, a simple light kind of thing, electric bulb kind of thing. So here this is the filament, this is the filament in nernst glower. This is very much important one. Here a black lines you can see, these are the black lines. They will they are uh, used for the circulation of electricity through the filament, to the filament. These block wires might be, they are the wires of filament platinum, I think. So these platinum wires, they will they will produce the, or they will supply the electricity for the filament, to the filament, so that the filament get heated and it will produce the light. It will produce light. The same as the simple phenomena what we will observe in the case of the electric bulbs that we will use in our homes in every day, right? So generates the heat, that is from 1200 degrees Celsius to 2200 degrees Celsius. This is the heat, the radiation. So, and this radiation, this heat containing radiation, or this is the radiation will contains the wave number value from 12,500 to 667 centimeter universe. Of course, uh, from mid IR to near far IR, it will produce the radiation. See, it causes light production similar to the black body radiation, and once it is get heated, that after slowly it release the radiation. It's a phenomena we will see, we will observe in the case of black body radiation. So similar to that, range of use. Yes, here you can see it is not providing, it is not producing the radiation up to 12,500 centimeter universe. It is exclusively producing the radiation from 10,000 centimeter universe to 670 centimeter universe wave number containing radiation. The radiation containing 10,000 centimeter universe to 670 centimeter universe wave number containing radiation. So mostly, generally, previously we have studied that the near IR infrared region is the radiation containing 12,500 to 4,000 centimeter universe. Means it is producing, the nernst glower is producing the radiation in from near infrared region to far infrared region. Anyway, the organic chemist only concentrate in the sense, of course, based on the requirement, he may use the radiation pertaining to near infrared region, even far infrared region also. But in many cases, the molecules will be utilized, the molecules, they will utilize the radiation regarding to mid IR only. That is from 4,000 centimeter universe to uh, uh, 667 centimeter universe wave number containing radiation, right? Need good current control or overheat and damaged. See, anyway, the equipment is producing 1200 to 2200 degrees Celsius of temperature now, so that the equipment has to be constructed, has to be prepared in such a way it should not be uh, damaged for its overheat. So the standard materials are the material which can tolerate the heat up to 2200 or 2300 degrees Celsius. That kind of material has to be used in a manufacturing of nernst glower. This is the drawback about this one. And of course good one, but the maintaining that kind of material in that instrument is expensive one, of course. Next one is a Glober filament. It is also very, the function of this globar filament source is also very similar with Nernst glower, but the material used in this Nernst glower is silicon carbide. Yes, silicon carbide, you see, a rod instead of rare earth elements. The previous case, zirconium oxide, yttrium oxide, erbium oxide, even cerium, zirconium, cerium, thorium oxides also used, but here silicon carbide, uh, carborundum, I think, silicon carbide is used. It is a hard substance. So silicon carbide is heated electrically to produce the radiation in the region of infrared. It is a silicon carbide rod of 5 to 10 millimeter width and 20 to 50 millimeter length. It is electrically heated up to 1000 to 1650 degrees Celsius temperature. You can convert it into degree Fahrenheit also. So 1000 to 1650 degrees Celsius temperature, so that it will produce the heat in the region of infrared. Here we can see this is the uh, globar filament. This is silicon carbide one. So once if it is heated to 1000 to 1600 degrees Celsius temperature, it will produce the heat in the region of infrared range, that is 12,500 to 667 centimeter inverse wave number containing wavelength, or zero point 0.8 micrometers to 15 micrometers wavelength containing radiation. And next one is incandescent wire source. Incandescent wire source is also similar. The function of the light source is also very similar, but it won't produce the radiation in a region of near infrared. That is, high energy containing radiation would not be produced or provided by this incandescent wire source. Tightly wounded nichrome or radium wire that is electrically heated, so that the same principle as in Ernest Lower, lower intensity than Ernest glower or globar filament, but longer lifetime. Of course, it will produce the radiation pertaining to mid IR and near IR, but it is not that much stronger. Efficient instrument or the light source to produce the light in a complete region of infrared as much as Nernst glower and globar filament will do, but it will function for a long time. The durability is for more, and efficiency will also be more, but in a region of mid IR and near far IR, not in the near IR. Right. Here you can say it is similarly our bulb. So the filament generally in our bulbs, what we use in our home needs, in previous days we used to use this kind of bulbs in our homes. Nowadays there are some zero voltage bulbs or some other white colored bulbs we are using. There the gas will be filled, according to that it will fluorescent, it will undergoes to the fluorescence process, the light we will see. That is okay, but in the previous days we used to have this kind of bulbs where the tungsten filament will be used. Tungsten filament will be used here. The nichrome and rhodium filaments they are using. Nichrome and rhodium, they get heated with the help of electricity, then they will produce the radiation. That radiation will regarding to the radiation will be in the region of mid infrared and far infrared. So here you can see the glass bulb. The glass bulb, every equipment used, or every part of equipment used in the construction of this bulb should not absorb the light in the infrared region. So glass bulb, inside of that glass bulb, gas filling is there, gas is used, tungsten filament and supporting wires for the tungsten filament to hold in such a way to avoid connection with other parts of the uh, equipment. and supporting wires are there, and lead wires. Here these are the lead wires. They are used for the electricity, passage of electricity. These are dumb humid wires. Exhaust tube. Exhaust tube, it is used for the exhaust of excess energy. uh, Once if it is not under control inside of the equipment, then the excess energy will be exhausted back through this exhaust tube. And steam here, fuse, you can see this is the fuse that we have to use for the circulation and control of electricity when uh, abnormal or unequal uh, heat conditions produced inside of the tube. This is the cap. So this is the setup of incandescent light, and you can see the filament inside of that tube. It will heat like this and it will produce the light or radiation. Heat, light, radiation, they are the same. So the radiation energy will be in the region of infrared. So this is the information I would like to speak about in this class. I think it is clear to you all. So we have learned about the instrumentation and light sources, what they are used for the production of infrared region of light in infrared instrument. IR spectrometer. Three types of light sources are there. One is Nernst Glower, second one is Glober filament, and the third one is incandescent wire. Let us discuss about the uh, mm, important process, that is under which types of physical changes the molecule undergoes whenever it interacts with the infrared region of radiation in coming class. Thank you.